Adequate notice has been given in accordance with the sunshine laws. Notice was published on December 12th, 2005, 2024, in the Star Ledger, which is the official newspaper of the Township of Springfield for the year 2025, and posted in the Annex Building on December 12th, 2024.
No, they do.
Yeah, mine kind of does.
Works. Oh, yeah, it does. Okay, can we have a quick roll call?
Mayor Richard Huber,
Here.
Committeeman Alex Kaiser,
Present.
Mr. David Barnett,
I'm here.
Mr. Aaron Loffer, Mr. Richard Cedarquist.
Here.
Ms. Julie Tomeo. Here. Mr. Scott Wishna. Here. Vice Chair Sharon Kessel. Here. And Chairman Jeff Tiger.
Yes.
We have the quorum.
Okay, perfect. Welcome, everyone. A couple things. First, a resolution of, that we have on the agenda, 7-2025 S Scuba Joe 9 South Springfield Avenue, Block 1402, Block 9. We will carry that. We still have to do some work on that until October 16th in this very room for reading and passage. The business is able to open and do and operate completely, so this is no detriment whatsoever. So anyone here for that? It's October 16th at 6:30 in this room. We have, the first thing on the agenda is Congregation of Israel. We'll do that first. I understand this board received a letter regarding synagogue Congregation Israel. They received their county planning board approval a little late, so they're just asking for a 90-day extension till December 7th, 2025 for them to record the deeds. I don't know if you need to say anything. The board have any concern?
No.
To minor granting of the extension?
Let me just put my name on the record. Okay. Clara Harelick, as the chairman said, I'm here on behalf of Congregation Israel Springfield. I do think that the letter was self-explanatory and that we've met the requirements that are set forth under the Municipal Land Use Law 40:55D-47 regarding the recordings.
Yep, so we will, I don't see any board members having any concern?
No.
Any members of the public here wish to speak on this? Seeing none, I'm going to close it, so we'll just grant, the board will, we can get a motion to grant a 90-day extension till December 7th, 2025. Counselor's actually reviewing it, and it'll probably be signed by the end of this week anyway.
Actually, I was going to add, we need to get them recorded anyway before October 1st for the tax rolls, so we're going to be moving as quickly as possible. But the 90 days was pursuant to the way it's calculated in the statute.
Motion.
Second.
We have a roll call?
Mayor Huber,
Yes.
Vice Chair Kessel. Yes. Committeeman Kaiser,
Yes.
Mr. David Barnett,
Yes.
Mr. Rich Cedarquist.
Yes.
Ms. Tomeo.
Yes.
Mr. Wishna. Yes. Chairman Tiger.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Thank you to the board. I already gave copies of the proposed deeds to the town attorney. I mean, work attorney. These are from, and the plat will come by PDF. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, we have an ordinance from the Township Committee that was sent to us. It was ordinance 2025-17, sports facilities. I think this is just amending the industrial zone to allow indoor sports facilities. Mr. Mistretta, Mr. Disco, do you want to kind of give the board a little bit, short, brief overview? And then I guess the board would discuss if it's consistent with the master plan.
Sure, very quickly, the ordinance would allow, as it permitted, conditional use in two zones, the I-20 and I-40 industrial zones.
And are those like behind the Autoland and behind Brown Avenue, that type of area?
Correct. And the existing permitted uses include municipal buildings, wholesale businesses, business professional, medical offices, machine shops, printing shops, childcare. The other conditional uses that are existing today are public utilities, automobile service stations, cell towers, billboards, just to give you a flavor of what's permitted today in these two uses. This amendment would add as a conditional use indoor sports facilities. So the thought process is existing buildings, they could be retrofitted to allow indoor sports facilities. definition included that has been added into the ordinance, an indoor facility providing accommodation for a variety of individual or organized sports, including but not limited to indoor soccer, pickleball, baseball, wrestling, tennis, volleyball, racquetball, or other similar sports activities. And it would be a conditional use in these two zones. There are 10 conditions. I won't read them all, but there are 10 conditions. Item number 1, I'll just read that one. The facility shall be subject to site plan approval by, review and approval by the planning board in accordance with our township codes. And then it goes on to list 9 additional conditions to ensure buffers, parking, queuing of pickup, drop-off areas, and so forth. The idea is to possibly facilitate the reuse of, adaptive reuse of some of these buildings, indoor facilities all over the region.
Great, and this was something that was done in Mountainside where they added PE. We don't have this, so we want to try to encourage soccer facilities, baseball facility, whatever classes, whatever they can do indoors. This way we have something for the winter. But it still would come for planning board approval. The idea is just to make it out there that it's a conforming use, conditional use, and they would still have to come before the board. Mr. Disco, anything to add?
Nope.
So they would have-
Milburn's done the same thing, so it's really what we're seeing as an adaptive reuse.
Mountainside did it with PE.
We did multiple.
And they still would have to require all the parking, the same normal things, or apply for variance and see what the difference would be. Perfect. I mean, Mr. Wishna?
Hours of operation is, I have condition 7, hours of operation are limited to between 6 a.m. and 10 p.m.
It's got most of them, as you know, would be after school time.
And the facilities have to comply with all the bulk requirements of the industrial zone that they're in today. And there's enough parking requirements, off-street requirements, pickup, drop-off requirements to ensure that there's not an overcrowding of the site, that there's proper queuing of cars. Biggest issue is usually pickup, drop-off at events. And all of this would be presented to the board as part of the site plan application, for every application. Specific, and there's one, no outdoor storage of equipment and materials. So this is designed for adaptive reuse of all of these buildings. Everything stays inside.
Richard? David? Nope. Sharon?
Nope.
Okay, so seeing none, any members of the public that wish to comment on this? This is for just adding into the industrial zone, the ability to have as a conditional use indoor sports facility. Seeing none, I'm going to remand it back to the board, so the board would just find that the board finds this consistent with the master plan. Right. The township committee meeting is tomorrow night, so we would make a motion that our board attorney would write a letter to the mayor and clerk that we found this consistent with the master plan. Can I have a motion, Mr. Huber or Mr. Alex?
So moved.
So moved, Mr. Barnett?
Second.
Okay, can we have a roll call?
Mr. Barnett? Mayor Huber?
Yes.
Committeeman Kaiser?
Yes.
Mr. Cedarquist? Ms. Tamayo?
Yes.
Mr. Wishna?
Yes.
Vice Chair Kessel? And Chairman Tiger.
Yes, perfect. So you'll write that letter and send it over late tonight, tomorrow? Perfect. Awesome. Okay, 2 housekeeping items before we go to the application. So from the, just for some housekeeping items. First, our next 2 meetings conflict with Columbus Day and Veterans Day and so forth. So the calendar was already updated where our next meeting is October 16th, which is on a Thursday, so I just want to point that out to the board. And then our meeting afterwards is November 13th, which is right in the middle of League Municipalities, election, all that other stuff. So I'm going to request that the board that we do a virtual in November and see if anyone has any concerns with that. Any concerns?
I think so.
Leads
It's a
up.
week before it.
Leads up.
Yeah, it's week before.
It's the week before? Yeah, we could-
Yeah,
we could do-
I don't know, it's up to you guys, I'm good.
Everyone okay with doing a virtual, or Great.
Oh, he did Emily, got you. Okay, he did that. Then that was me.
Is anyone opposed?
No,
Okay, so we will.
virtual is good.
We will make our, the 11th of the November.
Oh, there you go.
Is it on? Yeah, we will make our November 13th meeting virtual. It'll either be 6 or 6:30, dependent on our staff that can help pull that off, Pooh and team. Perfect. Also for the record, Aaron Loeffler is out today. Laufer. I always mess that up, sorry. Is out today and has an excused absence. So Jen, if you can note that for the record. Okay, our application tonight is 246 Mountain Avenue Investors LLC. This is 2025S, 242-262 Mountain Avenue, Block 1305, Lot 4849. This is preliminary and final site plan, minor subdivision lot. So, Mr. Disco, if we can just give a quick overview together for the board. This is the shopping center where the bagel store used to be Allen's, Tom's Pizza, and et cetera. They're asking to, part of the parking lot is part of the house. The issue is to move that lot line to that the parking lot is part of the business area, and then the residential of the house is its own property. Is pretty much what it is. Fair enough?
That's fair.
Okay, great.
And I think, Counselor, you can introduce it. I think you had an opportunity to review Mr. Disco's letter.
Yes, we have both the Harbor letter and Mr. Disco's letter, and we're prepared to review all of those and address any comments. And
Sure, I think.
of course, Jen for getting them to us well in advance of the hearing. So, good evening, Stephen Hale, representing the applicant, 246 Mountain Ave Investors LLC. Mr. Chairman, you're correct. Essentially, my client, Bruce Jeffrey, and probably Jeffrey Realty, Bruce is well known to the area. He actually bought the property, the strip center across the street from this property, located at 223 Mountain Avenue, and renovated that. And he also has properties over on Milburn Avenue. He actually took and renovated. They're partially in Milburn, partially in Springfield, but the old King Supermarket, he acquired that and renovated that building, and also the Jeffrey Realty building is over there. So he's got a presence here in Springfield. And yes, it's what we're looking to do is, and we searched the records, I don't know why, and we did title search, why the lot line for the strip center is essentially through the middle of the parking lot. But essentially what we're looking to do is just a lot line adjustment to move the lot line to have the residential house be on it, a lot that basically follows the residential use there, and then have the remainder be associated with the commercial space. Mr. Jeffrey, who's here if we need him to testify, he's not a residential type landlord. He does commercial retail, and his intention is, after this subdivision is perfected, to sell the house, and then he's looking to do the same type of improvements down the road to this building like he did across the street.
Can I ask you 1 second? Mr.
Yeah.
Disco, what is the house zone? That's the question, too. What is
It's also the GC.
GC?
Yeah.
So would it be, I think we can have testimony on this, but wouldn't it make sense for that to just exile itself away from the GC so it doesn't have a small property and be rezoned or moved over to residential in some sort of fashion?
Yeah, I think we both anticipated that in our comments, that is probably the likely future of that.
Yeah.
As you take away this partial parking lot, it used to be a flower shop if you're old enough, like I am. But now it's going to remain a house, and I think Jen said there was a use variance to make it become a house in 2012. So I think that's the logical next progression. Don't think you're going to see that home become a business.
Yeah, I just want to make sure it doesn't become a business, because if it does become a business and they go use that, then there's parking and everything issues. So let's talk about the mechanisms as the application goes on. Sorry, I interrupted you.
And again, there's no changes proposed with the tendencies at this time. It's just, again, lot line adjustment to have it comply with the uses that are there. Mr. Disco did make a suggestion, Mike, we have an exhibit, to slightly move the line to provide a little more property as to in the area of the residential home, and our site engineer will touch on that. And also the the ADA space needs to be upgraded, and we got those comments from both Mr. Mistretta and Mr. Disco, and again, no problem in having that ADA space made compliant. So that's the actual extent of any improvements on site are frankly just the ADA parking space. Again, no changes in operation or otherwise, so.
Can we hear from your engineer first?
Sure, that's what I plan to do. So, John, why don't we have you come up and be sworn?
I'm sorry.
All right, sir, could you raise your right hand?
Sure.
Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Could you please state your name for the record?
Sure. Legal name is Giovanni, Giovanni. Last name Manilio, Manilio.
Thank you. And Counselor, would you like to?
Yes, Mr. Manillo, I believe you've been before this board. If you give the board the benefit of your work, educational experience, licenses you hold, and whether you've been accepted as a professional engineer for the boards or courts.
Sure. So actually, I don't think I've testified in front of this board in the past, but I do have a Bachelor of Science in Civil Engineering from Syracuse University. I've been licensed in the state for the past 16 years, licensed in good standing, testified in front of numerous boards throughout the state and throughout the county, including Union, Westfield, Berkeley Heights, Plainfield, Hillside, to name a few in the county.
Any members of the board have any concerns? Your license are up to date?
It is.
Okay, good.
Great. Okay.
Yep. So I don't know where the board likes me to put up exhibits, right here, or do we do have some public if you want to put it to the corner?
Yeah, so the board accepts you as a...
Yeah. And you know what? Why don't we have you?
Do you have two of each or only one?
Just one.
Okay, so maybe
But
for part of it, you'll put it in front of us, and then part of it, you'll put it outside, out there.
Sure. You want me to start in front of?
Yeah, only because of the traffic, but there's public, so I want to make sure they have an opportunity to look at this as well. I'm old with my eyes, as Disco said, so,
So I have two exhibits tonight. The first one is entitled 242-262 Mountain Avenue, aerial exhibit with today's date. It's just an aerial of the general vicinity, showing the zoning overlaid, and I do have some of the properties highlighted as
And
well.
This was not previously submitted.
That is not. Let me just- All right, so as mentioned earlier, the property is known as 242-262 Mountain Avenue, which is block 1305, lots 48 and 49. Lot 48 is the one that's further to the north, and 49 is the residential property that was in discussion earlier. Both those properties are located NC zone, so this pink line depicts the zoning that represents that area. So as you can see, there's a lot adjacent to us, lot 47, that's also in the NC zone, and then it's these two properties on this side of Mountain Avenue that are in the NC zone. We do have frontages both on Mountain Ave and Henshaw, and as everybody knows, the intersection with South Springfield and Oakland as well is where this is located. So lot 48 consists of that one-story strip mall, consists of 6 tenants on there. And then lot 49 consists of the single-family residential, which used to be a florist back in the day. And I'm actually very familiar with this site. My uncle used to have a butcher shop there back in the early 90s. So I've been on that site many of times. I know the parking. And as far as I know, since the 90s, the parking has always been like that. I did go through some historic aerials as well. I don't know exactly when the building was built or when the site was developed, but looking at historic aerials between 1954, the property itself was vacant along with the subdivision behind it. And then in 1966, the historic aerial shows that both the subdivision and that development was built. So somewhere in the late 50s to early 60s is when this was built. So a good 60 years this property has been in existence. There is a common parking lot, as mentioned earlier, that is in between the two properties. This you can see the yellow line where the subdivision or the current lot line is. It's pretty much right down the middle of the southern driveway. So in the rear of the building, there is currently 5 parking spaces, and in the parking lot between lots 48 and 49, there are additional 36 parking spaces. As mentioned earlier, there are 3 parking spaces that are partially within the right-of-way, and then the ADA parking spaces are not compliant with current ADA standards. There are several pre-existing nonconformities for both lots. For lot 48, The building itself does not comply with the front yard setback on Mountain Avenue. 15 feet is required, where the current setback is 12.3 feet. The front yard on Henshaw, again, 15 feet is required, where 10.2 feet is currently present. Lot coverage for the site, 72% is permitted, where the lot coverage currently is 98.3%. And then for lot 49, there's two pre-existing nonconformities. For lot depth of 100 feet is existing and 120 feet is required. And for the side yard setback along the property with lot 50, there's a side yard setback of 3.6 feet, where 12 feet is required. And then generally, there's a couple other deviations, one being parking. So given the use on the strip mall, 47 parking spaces are required, where we have 41 currently on the site. And then there's another requirement within the NC zone, where any principal building must be 50 feet from a residential zone or residential property line, where we currently have lot 49 is 3.6 feet from a residential property line or residential zone, and the strip mall building is 37.9 feet from the property line to the west.
These are all pre-existing.
Pre-existing, correct, which none of them are being, well, one of them, the parking will be exacerbated once we fix the ADA, but everything else will be either reduced or kept the same. Next exhibit I have here is entitled 242-262 Mountain Avenue, entitled Minor Subdivision Lot Line Adjustment, Exhibit Number 2. A2, correct.
Prepared by your office?
It was prepared by our office. It looks very similar, so it includes the two changes that were discussed earlier. One of them is that, given the comments that were received from both the board planner and the board engineer, there was discussions about that there is some additional land that possibly could be given to the residential zone. So the way that we laid out the subdivision is we try to keep the new lot line parallel with the side lot line, which is typically done, and we keep the numbers even. So we had the front line at 65 feet. Given that it is undersized, that lot that we are proposing, we were able to shift it or adjust the angle of the subdivision line, so that's what this depicts. And what happens is we actually moved the lot line, I think 3 inches in the front, and then the rear, it moved over 4.5 feet, which results in another 250 square feet that we can give to that residential lot.
What's the lot area?
Sure, yep.
Take us through that.
Sure, so lot 48.01, which is the new lot for the commercial property, would be 26,877.93 square feet, or 0.617 acres. Again, we will maintain the existing front yard nonconformities, both on Henshaw and Mountain. And the lot coverage, just because we were getting more property, would reduce from 98.3% to 97.7%. Additionally, as mentioned, we can restripe these parking spaces, these three parking spaces right here, closest to the building, keep it within the property line, and that'll result in the loss of 1 parking space in order to make this compliant with the current ADA standards. So those spaces will be 8 foot, 8 foot, and an 8 foot access out in between.
So you're going down to 40 spots.
40 spaces would be the new, yes. Okay. And then for lot 49.01, which is the new residential lot, that lot area would go to 6,833.7 feet, square feet, which is equivalent to 0.157 acres. Required in the zone is 10,000 square feet. Do want to note that the zone that's right adjacent to us, and I'll just go back to A1. So the zone that's adjacent to us, surrounds us to the south and to the west, is the S60 zone, which requires 7,500 square feet. And what I show here in this exhibit as well is all the properties highlighted in orange are actually smaller than what's being proposed as part of this subdivision. So these lots range from 5,050 square feet to 5,550 square feet. So even the lot to the south of us is undersized for the S60 zone and smaller than what we're proposing. Again, we're maintaining the existing lot depth and the side yard nonconformities. Again, that's on the south side. That's not being affected by the new lot line. We are complying with the side yard setback with the new lot line. And again, the way we set this lot line now is we offset it 2 feet from the parking lot, just to give some room there for maintenance and for snow plowing
What's
purposes.
the lot coverage now on the new residential?
The
Do they
n-
have room, like if they want to put a pool, or is there a pool there now, a deck? I'm trying to avoid.
There is a wood deck in the back right
Okay,
now.
That's good.
Lot coverage is going to be 45% with the new lot area, and they're allowed 72% in the zone. I don't have the S60 lot coverage off the top of my head.
36 versus,
So
they're over.
45, yeah.
They're over. So anything they do is going to trigger the zoning board. I mean, like he, I guess, showed, there's a lot of nonconformities in that area anyway with it, but how do we, Mike and the attorney, how do we make sure that this, whoever's buying this is aware that they could be before the zoning board if they want to put a deck, they want to put steps in, they want to put anything in it, they're going to be before the zoning board. Any changes to that residence right away? I mean, what can we put in the deed? What? Yeah, well, I mean, but then this house sells, they disclose it to this person, the next person takes it. I mean, it's fine, we were just trying to make buyer beware. I mean, the house is for sale, I saw, which is great. That you're hopefully gonna find a buyer for it, but I wanna make sure that the zoning board, you know, someone doesn't come and say, oh, I need to do this, I need to do this. The zoning board finds it difficult potentially to approve something they wanna do, but.
Yeah, I mean, the lot coverage permitted in the NC zone, and I apologize, I said GC earlier, is 72%. So they're well within the GC zone right now.
Yeah.
But the contemplated S60 zone is 36%. It's a headache. It's got a pretty large driveway coming in. That's probably why it's so large. Again, back in the day, there's probably a lot of employee parking in the
Yeah.
driveway, and the visitors came in through the shared lot.
What do you think? You think that's no big deal? Should we be looking to put something in the deed or some sort of mechanism?
It's always good to alert them so that they know buyer, knows what they're doing. I don't know what the proper or the best mechanism is.
I was going to say, I don't want to interject, but if it does get changed to the S60 zone, doesn't the property owner get notice prior to that change as well?
Right now, they're the owner.
No, but I'm saying when it gets sold, and let's say it's not going to get, it has to go through the board and the council to change the zone to the S60 zone. And at that point, the person that owns that property will get noticed that is contemplated to be changed.
What I
Yeah.
would like is an agreement that the owner of the property knows that we're gonna recommend to the township committee that they rezone that to the S60 or re-include it like it should be, and not, appeal it or try to go against it. But that property may not change hands that quickly, so, I don't know, maybe
Yeah,
that's something.
I just talked to Mr. Jeffrey, and there's no problem if when, Matt and I do when we do the subdivision deed, that we just put a little provision in there that it is acknowledged
up in
that the
title.
lot is undersized.
It'll show up in title work.
Yeah,
Great.
so it's in the
Great. Mike, is that okay with you? Mike? Great. Okay. That solves, I think, the board is okay with that? Okay. Continue.
Yeah, so other than that's the changes in the proposal that's part of this application. I guess the only change to the one that was submitted are the lot sizes, and the lot coverage is 97.7%, and we reduced one of the parking spaces. So we're asking for relief where 47 parking spaces are required, and 40 is being proposed as part of this application. I think Mr. Disco did a good job of doing a parking study for the past year or so, showing that the peak demand is on the weekends with the bagel shop, and the bagel shop's been there for, I want to say, 45 years at least, something to that effect.
Any questions? Because I have a question that I'm going to open up to the board. Can you take us through circulation? So one of the things that I've talked to Mr. Disco about, even before this came, 10 years ago, I talked to Mr. Disco about, right, long time ago, is, like you said, during the week, you can hang out and park 4 cars there and no one will care. But between, I'm going to say roughly 7 and 12, 8 and 12 on Saturday and Sunday, you're locked in there. And you get every spot filled. And to the standpoint is if you pull in and your passenger's door is on the side of the bagel store, the green side of the building, and every single spot up that aisle is full, you have no way to go to the left, because there's no way to go to the other side of the parking lot. You literally have to make a right, go behind the building. A car could be coming at you. The people could be parked. There could also be parked cars
diagonal across in the back, which makes it a huge safety issue during Saturday and Sunday during those times. Other times, no big deal. If you can explain to the board, like, what's a way to remedy that? I mean, I'm not saying I don't know if we're comfortable taking away 6 spots or 4 spots to do a turnaround, but I'm also concerned that, you know, Allen's just left. Allen's Deli just left. Other tenants, my dry cleaner said that they may be gone from a standpoint. The site may be completely different with the parking demand that Mr. Disco has been looking at greatly over the years to determine. That not having that turning, I know that if I come in that site and I can't go to the left, I have to try to go to the right, behind the building, and pray there's no one there, go on to Henshaw, wait at the traffic light, go all the way around and maneuver. It's a kind of a tough situation there.
No, I think you described it well as far as the circulation, how it works. Unfortunately, the only answer really to improve the circulation is to eliminate, at the minimum, 4 parking spaces, and even then, I think it'll be tight. In the back area, you still only have about 18 feet, which 2 cars going, side by side would be hard. Ideally, it would be removing 6 parking spaces, but I think that would be more of a detriment to the site by losing parking spaces than the circulation.
I want to see what the board says. I don't want to create a problem,
No.
but I am worried that if, you get another busier tenant that goes in there with, at that time of 8 to 12, where there's a problem with the bagel store, you have an issue. I'm sure one of the things the board's going to say is they want to, as we've done, Mr. Hale, in the past, we retain jurisdictions for the board to come, any changes of tenancy would become to the board to be able to analyze.
And I did have an opportunity to speak to my client about this issue, because I did speak to Mr. Disco and Mr. Strett about it. And the preference would be, again, it's existed for all this time, and it's only those few times that there's those issues. Prefer to keep the amount of parking and not lose upwards of 6 parking spaces when we're already deficient. So, and I think people, it's a local businesses, people know and adjust to it. So, if it was a totally new shopping center, a strip center, I agree. You'd want to have that circulation. But again, we think that the benefits of maintaining, I mean, we're already going to lose one with the ADA. It's Mr. Jeffrey's preference, and that he's well experienced in retail, that you want to have that parking for your clientele.
Yeah, I'm not opposed either which way, I just want to hear what the
Yeah,
board has to say.
we'll get the board's feedback on it, certainly.
So,
Or the board professional.
anything else?
No, that concludes my testimony.
Mr. Wishner?
Yeah, so looking back, I think it was 66 is when it first shows up, and you can actually see the parking spaces as well. And it looks like it was this exact layout as well for that shopping center. So I don't know. No, I don't think so. I mean, the only thing I could think of, the only thing I could think of is maybe that parking lot did serve the adjoining lot at one point. But like I said, my memory from when the florist was there, I don't even think that was used for the florist. The florist had their own driveway where people parked. Mm-hmm. It is a two-way. So no, we didn't look at it, but I think that might make it a little worse, because if it is one way, well, I guess it would have to be out towards Henshaw. Yeah.
Yep, that helps. That alleviates it.
It is a dead end, correct. That is correct. But I think at the end of the day, you're still going to lose parking spaces. Yeah. So you're going to lose 4 there. And then right now we have 5 in the back. I don't think you're going to get 5 more parallel parking spaces. I'll have to scale it out.
We
but-
just want to try to make it safer. 'cause
No,
I'm-
and- yep.
I'm worried that you will have, I don't know what tenants are going to go in there. You know, we've had the same tenants forever. I mean, literally, I've always told Mr. Disco, this was an issue that I've always come up with, but the site has never changed over. So it's been the same tenants for 10, 15 years. So the idea is, we just want to try to figure out what makes it safe.
Yeah, I mean, I think at best you'll get the 5, but I think you'll most likely get 4 spaces in the back. And then the other issue that we have to work with is the fire official to make sure that we maintain a fire lane back there as well. Yeah. No, there's nothing that we looked at, but yeah. Mhm. Yeah, and I know there was a comment about. Yeah, and I know there was a comment by the board engineer about, or it might have been the board planner, I don't recall, about seeing if we could add another parking space in the back. And while ideally I think we could, speaking to the applicant, they'd rather retain that space to make sure that they have enough space for garbage and for access into the building. So it is, but not back here. Oh yeah, yeah. These aisles are 24 and I believe 26.
Yeah, I think that's, yeah, if you could touch on that, the aisle width is actually.
Sure, yes.
On that,
So the one aisle to the south is 26 feet,
Yeah.
roughly, and the one to closer to the building, it varies between 23 and a half to more than 24.
26 is actually oversized, right? I think 24 is your standard, so that extra 2, which.
It's tight, 2 cars do turning there, you don't, you know, someone coming around and not looking both ways, and I'm sometimes the cowboy driver, where I'll go very quickly and make a right, and there's another car right in front of me, and because there's another car where they're parked there, it makes it really tough to maneuver, but listen, let's see what the board has to say, and then we have 2 great professionals that have been with us for a while, they'll help us make the decision. Richard?
I believe there's, I haven't counted.
Yeah, I don't want to take away the ability for parking. One spot's not going to make that difference. Mr. Barnett, what do you think?
Well, the good news is, at least with the current use, people are in and out of our parking lot. I know in back, the way here, so there's a no parking yellow line, right, each side of the building. If there was a car parked there, they would have no parking. On the yellow line, as I'm sure it is now. And then a couple spots, and then the same thing inside. The aisle that's closest to the house fills up the I've seen the other aisle closer to the filled and completely full. So the idea of making that one way out to Henshaw means nobody can come in to block you. So I'm not as concerned about the house side. I've seen the building side. Just to make sure you can allow people out, that gives you more room, so no one's coming both ways, you have more room for parking. If you could keep the curb in there. But the other thing is, I've seen often, and I know this is not permitted, but maybe it's okay, is I've seen people park next to the dry cleaner. 'Cause there's a lot of room there, right? So I've seen people park parallel, to the building. I don't know if we can pick up a space over there, if that even makes any sense because of the ingress. But if there's an opportunity to pick up a space, I have seen cars there, relatively often. So.
We actually looked into that, John, I think that's.
Yeah, I believe that's a fire lane. Yeah, it's striped as a fire lane right now.
Yeah.
I think so, I think it
Probably
has.
needs better.
Yeah,
I think it shows.
it is, but again, I've seen cars, so maybe.
Yeah,
that's-
no, I've seen it too.
So if one way out, makes some sense.
Mr. Disco?
And the other half of me is like, it's been this way for 50 years or however long, so, everyone realizes it at this point.
No, I like counselor's thing. It's like, it's a neighborhood area, people know, they know what it is, they know what to do, type of a thing. But I just want to see what the board has to say, and then Mr. Disco, and we can make a decision. Maybe the compromise, where it's a one-way, where you can't make a right from Henshaw in the back.
which,
Right, so people from Henshaw just have to go around.
so yes, so people from Henshaw. But let's see, we got professionals, but go ahead, Mr. Sharon.
Oh, I thought,
Oh, Mr.
Mike, did
Disco.
you have something to say?
Go ahead.
I'm happy to interject. or-
Yes, please, please. This is.
No, I think we all are familiar with it. I think everybody's talking about this knowledgeably. We did look at the one-ways. You cannot have the one-way in from Henshaw, because then it actually exacerbates your concern, Mr. Chairman. So the only one way you can do is out. Unfortunately, if you look at the spaces, those 5 spaces in the back, they're slightly angled. They would be counter to the one-way movement. They'd have to almost back in on the angle, which probably employees park there. It's not the end of the world. I think, although we'd love to have more parking, I think parking along the house on Henshaw is probably not wise. It's just another noise issue for that neighbor, who I know has battled truck deliveries there, not only on this property, but really the other property as well. So I wouldn't want to give them more car doors. Plus, I'm sure it's a fire zone.
Okay.
There's no fire zone on the other side of the building in the main parking lot, so they need to access it other than Mountain Avenue in some fashion.
So there's really no good resolution. It's like you're damned if one way, you're damned if another way, but it's like it's been operating forever, maybe we leave it the way it is.
I mean, within the, really, in the last 6 months, we had 3 observations, we had 35, 36, 38 in there.
Yeah.
We're gonna be at 40. If you take away 4 or 6, all you're doing is forcing people to now park on Henshaw in front of a residence, on Mountain when you can do it in front of a residence.
Yeah.
Or they're gonna get discouraged and go away, and that's not good for business.
No,
So
that's the one.
I-
Maybe
I-
it's something.
I think 95 was the aerial I went back to that I could see on Google Earth. I don't think the pattern has changed. Just the way they granted it, the original site plan. So we're stuck with it.
So maybe
I understand your concern, and maybe if you're really concerned, you just have to have that person parking right on the corner there do a better job of parking, or maybe not be an SUV as opposed to a car. I don't know what the.
Or, maybe it's something we'll have to see, let's see how the other tenants, if you get a tenant that is similar with a bagel store use that's gonna open up like a thing, like a diner thingish at 8 to 12 and has a conflicting time, we may need to revisit this when they come back for the next tenant. Maybe that's how we handle it.
Can you
And
write
just
a-
like David's seen, I've seen the car there. I think sometimes the crossing guards park there.
Can you write compact car on it?
You could, you could.
No one really pays
Doesn't
attention
prevent,
to it.
Yeah, I think most of the people parking in the rear, I believe, are the employees or the owners of the businesses.
Right.
So, do they have an agreement among themselves where they park? I have no idea. But yeah, if the one on the corner was a compact, or at least a car as opposed to an SUV, you'd have a little bit better visibility. I think we consulted with the police months ago about this, and there's never been, at least they're telling us, there's never been a reportable accident there. So, it's probably something that Mr. Tiger admittedly was going too fast through the park.
I already admitted to it.
But, I mean, it's one of those things, I think most people know what to expect when you're in there. It's tough, because both drive aisles, you're gonna dead end,
Right.
and if the cars are, if it's fully parked there, the bays, you're doing an awkward maneuver to get out of there. So, the answer is 4 or 6 to lose to make it better circulation, but now you're forcing people, we know the data suggests, you're now forcing people to park on Henshaw, walk further, park on Mountain further down, or they're gonna park illicitly in the fire lane in the back, or maybe in front of it on Mountain or Henshaw where they're not.
That's the worst, if they stop at Mountain and run in.
Or we punt this, the decision, we leave it alone, and we see what the other tenants come in, and we kind of punt this discussion to see what other tenants come. Would you agree with that, Professional? 100%. Yeah. We've had the same tenants. Yeah, we've had the same tenants. If tenants come in now that conflict with the 8 to 12 bagel store timeframe, then it would have to be a discussion that we'd have.
Yeah, I mean, the bagel store is really the generator on that Saturday, Sunday morning.
Yeah.
And when the volunteers have their thing out there and they're collecting money or whatever, people are going. They know there's an event there, or, collecting for a uniform or something. So if the bagel store leaves, you're probably self-correcting this
Yeah,
problem.
we don't want them to leave.
You get a second bagel store, all bets are off.
Yeah, I think I think the issue would be tenant, so we'll keep, so one of the conditions I'm hearing from the board is that we would keep jurisdiction of any new tenant. When Allen's get filled, it would come before the board on a quick site plan type of thing. Sharon, did you have anything further?
No, I,
We worked it out?
as it, yeah.
Alex?
Yeah, I would have concerns. I mean, you're looking at, going forward with tenants, you're looking at Allen's Deli not being full at the moment, a pizza, a Chinese place that is certainly at low capacity, I would imagine. I don't think they're nearing any of the other food venues that they are in other places of the towns, and a dry cleaner, which dry cleaners probably most of the time during the day, so their customers aren't the same. But if you put another food establishment in there that's going to drive customers, you're going to see an actual issue, and an issue coming out of Mountain, an issue that's going to hurt Henshaw. It's something that I would be very concerned about. So as long as we retain, as long as anytime a tenant enters, it still comes before this board, I would be okay. It works right now because there's one business generating business in that parking lot for the most part. The other thing is, yeah, hey, I think another issue is, if I recall, and I don't frequently drive there, the lines are not, right, it's not upkept. The lot is kind of, everything's bare and worn down. So restriping might also help just correct people's parking, because I think a lot of times people pull in, they might take up multiple spaces. So restriping and maintaining your lot as a landlord might help rectify that.
Can I interrupt you 1 second, Alex?
Yeah.
Mr. Disco, you did a site, what was it?
I've done multiple, I've
You've
seen
seen a lot of
worse,
bagels?
I've seen better.
You've seen worse, you've seen better. I'd like it better. How about that?
So,
I've seen them worse and better, so, yeah.
make it, when they fix that ADA spot, we can make it a condition of approval, there's 40 spots to restripe the.
Yeah, I would restripe this entire thing. I think that would help.
Julie?
I think I agree with Sharon, and we'll leave it alone for now.
With the circulation.
Yeah,
I agree.
circulation issue.
And I've got there too.
But I agree that restriping might help.
And the compact, I like Sharon's idea with the compact space.
I mean, you could put a sign there, it's that one on the corner.
Not that people necessarily pay attention, but.
At least we tried.
The corners where it's tighter,
Yeah.
compact spaces in those corners might help.
Mayor?
I agree with what we've said here. I mean, it's been that way as long as I've been here. So, I
Long
mean-
time, huh?
No, but I mean, I think it's good. It is crowded, it's a pain in the butt for everybody. I mean, there's nothing you can do. I mean,
I guess we wait and see.
yeah, wait and see, and have,
See what
it should be redone, the whole drive, the whole parking lot.
Good catch,
I mean,
Alex.
repaved everything. And, because I want to keep the people off Henshaw, because if I'm living on Henshaw, I don't want people parking in front of my, front of my house.
That's a minute. You eliminate 4 or 5 spaces.
I mean, it wouldn't be fair to the people on Henshaw, yeah.
Going right on Oakland. It's not-
Agreed.
I mean, I've parked on Mountain Avenue many times and walked back.
The only other concern that I have, unfortunately, putting my environmental hat on, is 98%. There's nothing we could do to make it any trees or anything in the front. Something. I mean, does that,
It is a fire lane.
is that fire lane?
It is
So-
at both
yeah.
sides of fire lanes, and the guy does park, or woman, I should say, the person
Some room, if
parks there.
if they're gonna do a 2-foot off the new parking lot line,
Yeah.
there's some room maybe
So
for
let's
some
leave it as
shrubs
this.
or.
We're gonna
tree or
request that you spend some time with Mr. Disco. It's not gonna be much, but if he can find a place that you can plant a tree or two, or take some pavement out, that you guys work that out.
They get a bonus. If you can find a winner, you can bring them a tree.
Maybe it's on,
Actually, along the fence, possibly.
maybe on the
There
fence.
is a little bit of room.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll make another bagel site visit this weekend and find a place where you can put a tree or something. Okay, perfect,
Certainly along the fence, I think there's room for some shrubs or something.
perfect.
We leave most of our comments in to do with the circulation and the site plan, but as far as
we're going to request the township committee on a separate thing, rezone the property. Our planner's here. We'll leave that with him, that he'll write the township committee and request that that gets put through a zone change, and work through that.
No residential coverage on this
Yes.
lot, on the commercial.
Yes, that's the point. It will be in tandem. It'll never get done in the time period. They'll be able to, if for some reason they sell the house, they'll have to put a condition in their, in the contract of sale, knowing the fact that it's moving from this zone to this zone.
Not to interrupt you, Chairman, but you made the point, right? That stays with the title work, right? That
Yes.
doesn't get forgotten.
No. Well, that'll be for the word, so there's two parts. Undersized lot is one
Yeah.
thing, and the second thing is if they sell the house in the next, I mean, any real estate contract says, is there any impeding zone changes that you're aware of? They would have to disclose that. That's in any contract. But I'm sure the township committee in October-ish or November, late October, can probably take that up as part of a rezone. It's pretty cookie cutter. Would you agree? Yes. Yeah. And so we already have two of the township committee members on the board that are aware of this.
For us in October.
And Mr. Chairman, Jen was kind enough to pull up the 2012 resolution Mr. Bergen had prepared for the Board of Adjustment. There's very strong controlling language there that it's supposed to remain a residential property.
So
that could be included in any transaction, just as a rider or attachment that, you know.
I saw it shows, I just want the person that buys that property to know that they're buying it as a residential. They can't open up a flower store the next day when they move in, something like that. Okay, anything further? I don't think we need anything further.
We have our professional planner to address any.
Yeah, let him just put on some of the, just some of the proofs for
Yes,
the
I'd
planner,
like
very short and sweet, just in
Full-time
case, and then we'll open it up to the, then we'll open up to the public. Just short and sweet with some of the proofs. More so with the residential, the other ones are existing anyway that aren't changing, not exacerbating.
Okay. Do you solemnly swear that the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
I do.
Could you please state your name, spell your last name for the record?
Yes, my first name is Nicholas with an H, last name Graviano, G-R-A-V as in Victor, I-A-N-O. I'm a planner and partner with Graviano and Gillis, Architects and Planners, at a business address of 101 Crawford's Corner Road in Holmdel, New Jersey.
And Councilor Jen.
Graviano, can you briefly give your credentials?
Yes, I hold a bachelor's degree from Rutgers University, a master's degree in city and regional planning from Rutgers University, a law degree from the Temple University School of Law, where I received a distinguished class performance in state and local government law. I'm a licensed professional planner in the state of New Jersey. I've been previously qualified by this board, as well as over 100 boards in 18 different counties in the state of New Jersey, and I also hold an AICP certification.
All your licenses are up to date?
Yes, Chairman.
Any members of the public, any members of the board have any questions or concerns? No, we'll accept you as a witness.
Thank you, board. Always a pleasure being
I don't
here.
think you were with us before, right?
I've been here before, yes.
Sure.
Yes.
Wow.
He was at the planning board recently for the church,
Oh, was he?
for St.
Sorry.
James.
Sorry. Okay, I forgot.
Some of us remember.
So
Listen,
very-
time flies when we're getting old, right?
Yes.
My beard was a lot darker in the first time I was here, so I get it.
Been a bold. So let's focus just on more so the house. I mean, obviously you have to put all of them on there, but just focus on the house because that's the big change that we're having.
Certainly. I'm going to keep this brief. Mr. Manilio and Mr. Hale did a great job of explaining what this application's about. The application is before the board tonight requesting minor subdivision approval for a specific piece of property known as Block 1305, lots 48 and 49. As you heard in engineering testimony, proposed lot 49.01, which will be the shopping center property, will contain 26,877.9 square feet, whereas the residential house will contain 6,833.7 square feet. That lot size does necessitate a variance. In the zoning district, 10,000 square feet is required. From a planning perspective, this is a very rational application to clean up the site. This action is being done so all of the parking is located in the shopping center property. There's no situation down the road where the parking for the shopping center is on the house, they're under different ownership, and there's a problem. This cleans up that scenario. So certainly, the variance for the lot size for the residential dwelling can be granted under both the C1 and C2 criteria. With respect to the C1 criteria, I think this lot line configuration and the fact that a good portion of the parking lot for the shopping center is on that residential lot is certainly an extraordinary situation affecting a specific piece of property. strict application of the township zoning ordinance would create an undue hardship upon the applicant, and that relief for the undersized lot certainly could be granted without substantial impairment to the zone plan or zoning ordinance, because simply the adjustment of the lot line is not affecting how the house functions, and it does not affect how the shopping center functions. Can also be granted under the C2 criteria. The applicant need not demonstrate hardship. What must be demonstrated is that it relates to a specific piece of property. Here you have a very unusual lot configuration and lot line situation. In terms of the C2 variance, the applicant must demonstrate that it advances purpose of zoning of the municipal land use law. This certainly advances purpose A, promotion of the general health, safety, morals, and welfare, and that's done through a couple of different matters. One, the applicant has agreed to modify the ADA space to make it into current compliance, so that certainly goes towards health and general welfare. Additionally, the applicant is safeguarding the parking for the shopping center, which certainly goes to the morals and general welfare of the township as a whole. Additionally, it promotes purpose G to provide sufficient space and appropriate location for a variety of commercial uses to meet the needs of New Jersey citizens. And then lastly, this is certainly promoting purpose I, desirable visual environment, creative development techniques, and good civic design and arrangement. It's good civic design and arrangement to have the off-street parking for the shopping center located fully within the property boundaries. As with the C1 discussion, this relief also can be granted without substantial impairment to the zone plan or zoning ordinance. Touching on all the existing conditions variances relating to setbacks and coverage that was provided by Mr. Manilio, those are all existing conditions not augmented by this application. That too can also be granted under the C1 criteria without substantial impairment to the zone plan or zoning ordinance.
Thank you, Mr. Graviano. No further questions at this time, Mr. Chairman?
Great. So, Mike, anything you want to add? Cover it?
The change of tendency moving forward, I think, is the right avenue to proceed with, rather than taking out more parking spaces.
Yeah,
Addressing one at a time.
Yep, and if for some reason they want to put, Jen's Diner there, and it's going to be big between 8 and 12, then as Committeeman Kaiser said, we're going to have to address that at that.
That coupled with the recommendation by the board that the residential property should be rezoned is another recommendation.
And as a planner, you agree with that, the rezoning to put in residential on that site?
I personally think the applicant has gone above and beyond in accommodating that request from the board. It's not something that's typical, but the applicant's willing to do it.
Great. Okay. Anything further?
We have nothing further at this time. Mr. Jeffrey is here. If the board had any questions.
So the only thing I wanted to bring up before we open up the public, so we talked about maybe finding some impervious coverage and getting rid of it.
Yeah.
If it cannot be done, what I'd like to see in the board's thought is maybe, we're gonna have a park across the street, maybe some sort of there's, a tree, 3-4 trees, if you can't plant them on the site, something in the escrow from the township escrow to put in trees.
Bruce, he grew up here in Springfield. He's all for that.
Perfect, because they're going to be building a park which will help your business across the street, where there'll be benches and places for the people to eat. So if you can't find it, then that'll be the case. I'd much rather have it on site, so it takes away impervious, but if it can't, we'll say Mr. Disco will side between 3 or 4 trees. And the tree fund, is the board comfortable with that? Yeah. Okay, perfect. All right, so let's take this opportunity, if you keep your witnesses here, just in case any of the public have any questions for them. I'd like to take this opportunity to open this matter to the public. Anyone wish to speak on this application with the questions to their engineer or planner or the board, please come up. You waited patiently.
Yeah, thank you.
You can say your name and address for the record.
Yeah, my name is Triadaphilos Alexiou, and I live in 36 Gale Court. I'm the owner of Lot 60.
Can you point for the board if you don't mind?
Yeah, Lot 60.
Okay, so you're right behind it.
I'm right behind, and I'm a neighbor both to the residence and to the parking lot.
Uh-huh.
And I have concerns with this change of the limits because, number one, we will have a residence that is going to be overbuilt, and I'm sure they will come here, like you said before, and they will ask for variances to build pools, as other neighbors did with small lots over there or with their gazebos. So I will have more noise, and is not good for neither for my well-being there or my property. And then we are creating here a big lot, a big commercial lot, and that would give the opportunity to the current owner or to the future owner to build something bigger that is not going to be good, of good character for the center of Springfield.
To be clear, it's zoned commercial. They cannot put an apartment complex up. I know a lot of people seen on Facebook, talked about it, questions swirling. This is zoned commercial. All they can do is put commercial.
Yes, they could build something bigger now, which is commercial, something like an enormous monstrosity, something that it's covered 98%, that is going to be the other building, that is all parking lot, underground, and something on top in between, on top. Who knows? Maybe the current owner or the future owner. And I don't understand really what is the benefit of the community in regards to the variance that is being asked. If this lot has been working like that for 60 years, what's the reason to rezone it? What's the reason to move the limit? Whoever bought initially and whoever bought it now, I don't know, knew what the conditions were. Why should that change?
Let me explain. All they're doing is taking, so the parking lot, half the parking lot was owned by the commercial site, which is a house right now. That was the flower store at one point in time. The house is residential. People are living there now. It's for sale. All they're doing is moving the lot line. Nothing will change with the site whatsoever. So whatever your experience now, nothing's going to be exacerbated. I understand your concern if someone does want to put a pool in, but if they were going to put in a pool before, they would have the same variance anyway, because despite the fact that the parking lot is part of it, we would have I'm assuming the Board of Adjustment would factor that out, because that's not area that is where they're living anyway. So I don't understand your concern. I mean, if your concern is that they're going to eventually knock down this thing and build apartments, I will tell you right now that it's not zoned that way. There was no, in the township master plan that our planner did together, there was no overlay zone on Mountain Avenue. That was completely taken out. So no one can sit there and build affordable housing, apartment complex, or anything like that. That's that. It could, and they're making,
Actually reducing the commercial space.
yeah, I guess they're reducing the commercial space by flipping lot 50 to pure residential. That change is only just to change the zone on that lot only, to allow, and that's not our board, that's going to be the township committee, because we don't have the zoning powers on that, to make sure that that does not become a business in the future. Because then if it did become a business in the future, there'd be really no parking for that lot 60. They would be taking spot from the bagel shop area parking and would be causing problems. So that's what the board is requesting the township committee to do. Can't imagine why they wouldn't do it, but that as well, that's a positive change for you, so that way your neighbor behind you is purely residential.
I'm sorry, lot 50 is already a residence, which.
Yes, it is,
which
it
has
is.
a-
But it
which has
used
a
to-
variance here, and I'm not concerned about 50. And yesterday, last year, they got a variance and they installed the pool in 50.
Mike, 50 had a pool? Yeah. 49.
So why
49,
are we
okay,
talking
yeah.
about 50?
48, 49.
Here's 49, sorry.
Yeah, 49, okay, my mistake.
Okay.
So, but 49 won't change from the standpoint, it's gonna be a house. It will just maintain a house forever. It cannot become a flower shop, a barber shop, or anything along that lines in the future. That's what the board is gonna request the township committee to change. That should help you from a standpoint to make sure that no business like the flower shop ever goes in there again.
Right, but it won't help me when we have a bigger lot here, and in the future, we can build something bigger.
It's this,
That's not before the board today.
that's not before the board today anyway, but we did review that with the professionals when we discussed it. It is not zoned where they can do anything. If they were to go try to build something on that, they wouldn't have adequate parking for the 4 or 5 tenants. It would never get approved, because they wouldn't have any ability for parking there. So I wouldn't worry about that, and that's not before us right now to make that determination anyway. I do understand you, it was something that I came up with as well with the engineers. So it was a concern, but they can't.
And zoning is going to prevent them from.
And and exactly, the zoning will prevent from doing anything.
So they can't go up on it. And the setbacks that would exist as of right would, anything that got built there would actually be smaller.
Yes. If they knocked it down, the setbacks where they said they were 12, they'd have to go to 15. They would actually have to make a smaller built building if that was the case, which would be not advantageous for them.
Okay.
So, but I thank you for coming up and sharing your concerns.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you for being patient as well. Any other members of the public wish to speak on this application? Sure. Could you please state your name for the record and your address?
My name is Dmitry Rybkin. I am located at the 40 Gale. It's right behind the parking lot. Let me see.
Yeah.
So we are, where we are, right here, so.
There's a fence that separates you.
Exactly, yeah, the fence and the trees on
Mike,
my
how
yard.
is- Before you do it, is the condition of the fence okay?
Um,
Talk about that.
It's a chain link fence with green slats. On a scale of 0 to 100, I don't know, it's a 75, 80.
Okay.
There's some minor deterioration of some of the slats,
maybe-
but it's somewhat intact as a screening mechanism.
Okay, you can look at the slats. I'm sure it's not hard to put.
Yeah, there's a pretty substantial evergreen tree line
Yeah.
that goes from Henshaw along the side property line of the residence on Henshaw, goes a little bit into the backyard of one of the houses on Gale, and then it truncates. So, the left side of this lot where the flower shop used to be,
Yeah.
that just has a fence there. There's really no significant landscape screening in that area.
Yeah, so those evergreens that were there were actually chopped significantly by the owner recently. So I don't know, talking about the trees planting, that wouldn't be a bad idea, just an FYI, you know, because there are some trees, but they chopped them. So the fence doesn't really help for the privacy, but these trees, they do. So when they chop like a lot, you know, it actually reduces completely all the privacy. So I can see now, you know, all the parking lot and whatnot, all the traffic that's going, pulling in and out.
Mike will look at that.
So that's number one. Number two, the main concern for leaving the parking spaces there, like, you know, all the rotations and whatnot, if we keep it as is right now, at least the way I see it, like, it's tolerable, like, I don't have too much of a problems, like people honking and whatnot. If we gonna make the changes, you know, at that point, I don't know if we're gonna create more mess. So the way it is now, it's working for everybody, right? That's number one. Number two, the main concern, what Redopoulos was saying, is basically we want to make sure there will be no construction over there. Because I have a child, 1-year-old child, you know, we have neighbors. I'm sure who has a kid knows what the construction is for the kid, like waking up, you know, like it's already stressful enough. We don't want to add any more stress to our lives. That's pretty much, you know, our main concern. If we just move in a line, no problem. If we're moving a line and
They may have plans of cleaning up the building, making it look nicer, like they did across the street. They'll have to follow the construction code times of 7 or 7:30 in the morning till whatever time. That's not our purview, it's the township ordinance that is out there. But there is no plans to knock down the building, build anything substantial. They wouldn't be able to.
Gotcha. Well, for me personally, again, it's like noise is the like biggest concern. Like right now, if they're gonna knock something down, you know, for the future plans, if they are come up with it, you know, just take it in your considerations that there are a lot of very little kids, like right next door. So, you know, like again, me, the neighbor next, like right, let me see where. So
Gail's there.
my house. So this guy has young kids. You know, there are kids all over there.
Yeah, no, we want to be careful of all that, but that's not before our board, but if there is anything, if a building site ever gets changed like that, there would be a notice.
Gotcha. Yeah, and again, the evergreens, like, they
Yep.
were there, they chopped them, so I don't know how, like.
Yeah, so Mr. Disco will look at that, because if there was not a permit, and I know for a fact with trees, that
But I just looked 2013 to now, where I was explaining where there's no trees. That hasn't changed since 2013 that I'm looking at in Google Maps right now. So, it'd be great to have trees there, but there's really, the pavement and the parking spaces go right up to the fence.
there's nowhere to put it.
You have to put it on the residential side.
Well, what I'm trying to say, if they cannot plant their trees, don't chop my trees, you know? That's all I'm trying to say.
Okay.
So.
Thank you very much. You were the guy at Dayton I used to see driving around in the cart, right?
I retired from
You
the high
retired,
school.
yeah, I remember.
Maintain the fields in playable condition.
You drive around the cart all the time.
My name is Francesco Legatese. I live at 13 Henshaw Avenue. Also, they destroy my tree. It
Destroyed your trees?
My trees.
Who did? The owner
Tree man, yes.
from this site?
From behind, I leave it behind I'm sorry. I'm a little confused.
Can you point on the map, if you don't mind, give us, I mean, if not, Mike can look it up.
He's right on Henshaw, immediately adjacent to that.
I leave it behind the
So you're
Chinese,
saying
the
that-
Thomas Pizza, that's where I live. The Good Friends,
Yeah.
I leave it behind there. That's my trees.
So you're saying that the owner of this site dropped the trees down?
They destroy. I don't have no more privacy.
So, Mr. Disco, would you let Mr. Herbert and the tree guy, Keith, if he's back, Decker, let them aware of this, so that way they can look into this. If they did, they're fines.
That's my neighbor right there,
Okay, that's
You
not a
got
problem,
all
it's not a
one
problem.
line.
Maybe
But-
the owner didn't even realize and who he hired didn't do it right, or whatever.
It's about 12 trees.
Okay.
Prune them or chop?
They chop them.
All right, so,
I have it before and after.
okay. So, well, you can't talk, you can't, but.
Before they cut, and then when they cut.
Okay, this is good, thank you. Mr. Disco will, if Mr. Herbert's not available tomorrow, Mr. Disco will go out. If not, our zoning officer, I'm sure, will go out, or the arborist, when he's back, will go out as well.
And also, behind the fence, it says if no parking, fire lane,
Yeah.
people park it there. I have a pictures too.
Okay, so
You wanna see.
Mr. Disco will let the police know. I mean, do we have Title 39 for this?
Probably not, it goes way back, so.
So should we request, we should have Title 39 in case the police want to do it. Mr. Hale? Since we are not aware whether we have Title 39 where they can issue tickets or whatever on the site, is there an issue with granting the police Title 39 so they can go and if people are not?
No problem with that.
Okay,
Thank you for listening.
thank you. So if we can write that. Any other members, we try to really limit it because, is it anything really critical?
But you can only,
What?
once he's commented.
So once you comment, I'm sorry, we can't do it. Well, I will have Mr. Disco look at the fence. If it's missing some slats, I'm sure the owner will put in the slats to make sure that he's a good neighbor to take care of that. So we'll add that to the resolution. Any other members of the, unfortunately, you can't. Once you've, you can't come back, Frank. Sorry. But, Mr. They went on your property. Okay, so that's fine. Mr. Disco will let Mr. Herbert know. Perfect. No, not at all. Any other members of the public wish to speak on this application? So seeing none, I'm going to close to the public, remand it back to the board. Do you have any closing comments? I think,
No, I think that our witnesses have, and the board professionals have done a great job, and look forward to bringing the property line to where it's proposed, and leaving essentially the parking other than the ADA as it is, and perhaps looking into a compact space. But
Yep.
We'll work with Mike on that and on the landscaping.
so let me read the conditions, and then I'll open up the board if they have any other concerns. The first is the ADA, second is a compact, third is a notice of, if they sell, or selling the property, that their township committee may take action to rezone this to S60. That there be some sort of note in the deed, title work or something, that this property is undersized, and if they're gonna go do something there, they know that to buyer beware, whatever it is. As Committeeman Kaiser said, they're gonna reshape the parking lot. Restripe, good, restripe the parking lot, thank you. We're gonna work with Mr. Disco to find some small areas to see if we can make them pervious, adding some trees, so forth. If not, 3 or 4 trees, they'll deposit into the tree fund to be planted across the street, or what the township committee decides. Any change of tenancies will come before the board with a site plan application, or minor site plan. You'll work it out with Mr. Disco to make sure. We don't want to make it too difficult for that, but we do want to review it to make sure there's a traffic issue. Mr. Disco is going to work with, to check on the trees with our zoning officer that were cut and done. And Title 39 will be granted to the Springfield Police Department. Anything I missed? Oh, yeah, slots on the, Mr. Disco will do a site inspection to, see how the fence is and add any green slots where to privacy. Anything, Mr. Wishner? Richard? David?
Yeah, just in general, and since the owner is here, like, This is a very important property in Springfield. And unlike some of the other properties that this owner has, it's adjacent to neighbors. So being very, considerate to them is certainly of the utmost importance. But I would hope as you move forward, you're very thoughtful about the tenants who are in that building. We are looking to attract quality and long-term tenants to our commercial properties. So while I'm very excited that hopefully you'll fix up the building, and because I've seen a couple of your other properties and they look good, but this is probably one of the most important commercial properties here in Springfield, believe it or not. And certainly, that bagel store, people come from lots of other towns for that bagel. We are known as actually one of the best bagel stores around. We hope that you understand that and you attract and keep other quality tenants. Appreciate that.
Sharon? Yeah, the bagel store is key. I overnight mail bagels to Harrisonburg, Virginia, to my daughter at college, because that's all she wants is the bagels. So, the only thing I was, it's not the purview of the board, is that the approval is the approval, but a lot of the attendants are looking at leaving, and that's concerning to us, that shopping center stayed the same for more than a decade or more. So I don't know what's going on, but we need to make, it's your building, you own it, but, those tenants have been there. We have to be, as Mr. Barnett said, very thoughtful of who goes in there, because that's the character of our little downtown, especially the Township Committee is working tirelessly to get a park on a really kind of catty corner adjacent to, across the street, to kind of improve that area as well. So I'll yield. Mr. Kaiser?
Yeah, no, just recognizing that in might not be technically, but it is really our downtown, that entire corner. So those three buildings meshing a very walkable, small little downtown for my entire life, which I've lived on that corner, has been a rather nice little place to eat, grow, and expand. And I think we've made a significant progress of improving that area. I think we've seen a lot of good small local businesses actually thrive for over decades, and to potentially be faced with vacancies on what was a small but prideful little downtown is certainly concerning and troubling to me and the Township Committee, especially in a retail environment, which is not great. So for a decade plus, that area has thrived. To be going in the opposite direction is very concerning.
Mayor? Did you mention them to plant trees, even if they can't? Okay, I want to be sure of that.
3 to 4 trees will be either
Throughout the town?
Either in the escrow
Yeah.
or on site. I would prefer it be on site.
Yes,
if
but
not, Township
I'm so
Committee
positive.
should deem
No,
it.
I have nothing else then.
Okay, so I read the condition, I'm not gonna reread them. Can I have a motion as the
Motion.
conditions read into the record?
Yeah, no, go ahead, yeah.
So moved.
You wanna second it?
All right.
Great. Can we have a roll call? So we're motion to approve with the
Conditions.
Approving the variances that were outlined by the board planner and Mr. Disco and our board engineer, our board planner, and that we found that the benefits outweigh the detriments for the criteria. Great. We have a roll call?
Vice Chair Kessel?
Yes.
Mayor Huber?
Yes.
Committeeman Kaiser?
With the comment that dull parking spaces annoy me to no end, upkeeping the lot. I will be personally inspecting. Yes.
Mr. Barnett?
Yes.
Mr. Cedarquist?
Yes.
Mr. Mayo?
Yes.
Mr. Wishna?
Yes.
And Chair Tiger?
Yes. Okay, perfect.
Thank you very much, and again,
Sorry,
appreciate your
I
time.
think this was an important application to make sure we.
Great. Thank you again. Have a great night.
Okay, so any other members of the public wish to speak before us?
He can as part of the public.
You can come before the public. No, he can come before the public, part of the public, if he wants. Yes, you give them to Jen. All right, any other members of the public wish to speak on this application? Not application, not this application. Anything before the board? Seeing none, I'm going to entertain a motion to close the meeting. Great.
Second.
So our next meeting, just remember, is... Okay, great. Our next meeting is October 16th, 6:30. See everyone then.